Greetings, ESL 106. Here we are. We're in one of our final weeks looking at the academic word list 4B. And we're going to take a look in your book here in Unit 4 on page 274. So hopefully you have your book with you. We're going to look at these 10 sentences. We'll talk about these words, how to pronounce them. And hopefully this is going to get you ready for this module this week. We're in module 11 and for the final exam that's coming up. So let's take a look at page 274. And these are our words, vocabulary 4B. Hopefully you've pulled up that list from module 11 and you've been able to take a look at the definitions of these words. Let's use them together in these sentences, starting with these 3 sentences that I'll pull up here. So, as usual, I'm going to ask you first, what part of speech might you use to complete these sentences? And we'll take a look at number 1. It says the program will feature guests with something personalities. Clearly, I'm going to need an adjective here. I'm going to need something that will describe these guests, right? Something that will describe their personalities. Let's look at number 2. The new method of assessment provides something indicators. So just like personalities, I'm describing here another noun, indicators. I'll need another adjective to describe that noun. Let's look at number 3. Global warming is a blank. Okay, I need a noun here. Whenever I see that indefinite article, I know that it's going to be followed by a noun. So a something on which there is increasing agreement. Use those parts of speech, guys, and let's see if we can finish these sentences. So the first one, the program will feature interesting guests, and this is a good place for the word dynamic, with dynamic personalities, talking about someone who has a lot of charisma or has a personality that's going to be good on a program. What about number 2? Now we're talking about indicators in an assessment. So a good adjective that I would use here is explicit indicators, talking about very clear indicators in this assessment, looking at air and water quality, looking at something, characteristics that point to or that indicate, that show, that are signs of air quality and water quality. But explicit would work well here. Number 3, something that can work with global warming would be that word phenomenon. Phenomenon talks about large events, happenings, phenomenons, usually natural events, a phenomenon which is something large and described throughout the world, for example. So this is a good sentence for that word. Global warming is a phenomenon on which there is increasing agreement. Let's just say these words together. I underlined the stressed syllable just to help you practice. But we have dynamic, explicit, and phenomenon. Sorry for the sounds going on outside my window. Okay. Let's keep going. Numbers 4, 5, 6. Let's see, what part of speech would you use for these 3 sentences? So if I look at number 4, even critics of the new program, something, that something must be done. This is a place for a verb. I need the main verb of the sentence here. Something that. right? It sounds like a reporting verb. Number 5, a story in today's newspaper reports on the war from the blank of those. Interesting. So I see the definite article, the. I'm going to use the with a noun, right? The blank of those who are most deeply affected. Let's keep going. Number 6, members of the committee met to blank the report. With this word to, I'm going to use a verb. It's going to give me an infinitive that I use after met. They met to do something. So consider these parts of speech, guys. What word would you connect with each of those sentences from this list? In number 4, the critics of the program, what is a good reporting word that I can use? And I'm going to choose this word, acknowledge that. I could say they argue that, they reported that. Here, I'm going to say they acknowledge that something must be done. And that's giving me a little bit of a contrast, right? Even the critics acknowledge that something must be done. Let's see. Number 5, talking about a story in the newspaper, trying to show us a story from a lot of different ways of seeing something. And hopefully you guessed the word perspective should go there. From the perspective of those who are most deeply affected by it. Number 6, I need a verb. The members of the committee met to do something to the report. This is a good place to use the verb refine. They're going to work on this report before they present it, right? They're going to revise it. They're going to refine it. So hopefully you chose the word refine as something that a committee could do before they present something to the public. Let's keep going and see where you use the last 4 words on your list. So we have these 4 sentences. First of all, what part of speech is missing? So let's start here. Number 7, the organization was blank. And this is actually a passive verb. I see that I need the participle, the other part of the passive, in order to complete this verb. Number 8, the camera is designed. That's another passive verb, right? And here it's designed on the same something. I need a noun with the. Same is an adjective, the same something as the human eye. Let's look at number 9. Hiring a local guide can something. Okay, I need a verb here, right? I always use a verb with can. It's a modal, so I'll need a basic verb. And then number 10, we cannot. Same idea, I'm going to need another verb. So which verbs and then one noun did you choose to complete these sentences? Number 7 is a good place for the verb founded. The organization was founded on the idea, right? It was begun on this idea. It was created based on this idea. It's a good place for that word founded on. Number 8, I need the noun that we haven't used yet. And here, this is the noun for principle. This is the example where I can use the noun principle. The camera is designed on the same principle as the human eye, using that as a model, the human eye. Number 9, a local guide can enhance. This is the place to use enhance. And that means to make it better, right? To make it more of something, right? More interesting, more vivid, more beautiful, enhance your trip. And then number 10, we cannot blank enough. And so this is a good place for the verb stress. We just cannot stress enough the importance of hand washing, is what I put in there. But this is a common way to use stress as a verb, right? We just can't stress enough the importance of something. So hopefully these are sounding familiar. Let's take a look at these words. Founded, founded, principle, principle, enhance, enhance, and stress. These 10 words, guys, you're going to find in this module, module 11, and you'll find that there is a Quizlet with these words on them. You can practice the Quizlet. You can find these words as you read your article, Frugal Innovation. You'll find most of these words are in that article. So hopefully you'll circle them or highlight them as you read. And then, of course, I have a quiz for you to take. This will be quiz 4B, and you'll see some examples here. I want to know how to say these words, how to write these words, and how to use them in a sentence. So good luck getting more practice with these words, and let me know if you have any trouble.